What are you doing here?
Offering you a bribe.
You too, huh?
At least, hear my offer.
New York City probably has 20,000 Greek restaurants, but Mama Zanetta's was my favorite. I guess that's because Mama Z always prepared her food with a little oregano and a lot of love.
Hey, Mike.
Mama.
Oh. Is that for me or for my cooking, huh?
That's for the sexiest chili in New York.
I keep telling you, it's called Moscati Algolemino.
I know, but that's Greek to me. Chili I can pronounce.
Well, you could use a lot more of it. You're too skinny.
Hey, I lead a very active life.
Too active. When you gonna settle down, find yourself some nice, steady girl, huh?
Come on, Mama. Who'd want to settle down with a guy like me?
Oh, you'd be surprised. You listen to your Mama Z. It's not so good to be alone, I know.
Listen, you haven't done so bad for yourself since Papa Z died.
When I'm here, it's fine. When I'm home, it's just me and my stack of beefcake calendars.
Well, listen, anytime you need a big bear hug, you know where to find me.
You work off your energy on that.
Take care.
You too.
How much do I owe you?
For you, $5.50.
I could only give you 10. Keep the change.
Good afternoon, Mr. Huntley.
It was a good thing Mama Z's wasn't busy, because Big Ed Huntley could spoil anybody's appetite. Big Ed started at the bottom of Murder Incorporated and killed his way to the top of a blue-chip crime family. I see ya. Linen service in New York is pretty good, but when 3 men show up, you can bet it's to deliver something dirtier than fresh napkins. Somehow I had the feeling this was one laundry that didn't use starch to leave you stiff.
Mike. I just hurt myself when I fell. You give me a hand up, huh?
Don't move. I want you to stay put. Call the paramedics. You're gonna be all right.
Big Ed Huntley had lived by the gun and he died by the gun. The same thing was going to happen to whoever did this to Mama Z.
Don't blame yourself, Mike. He's lucky you were here.
Just wasn't fast enough, that's all.
Can you give me anything else on the other hitman?
One of them was wearing black gloves. That's about all I know for sure.
The thing that bothers me is it looks like the crime family are going to have themselves a little street war.
As far as I'm concerned, the war is already on.
What do you think of my game, Mike?
I'm very impressed, sweetheart. With the right stick, I'll bet you could run the table.
Want to play?
Sure. Rack 'em up.
Agreed.
Moochie, who would want to blow away a guy like Big Ed Huntley?
Mama Z is in intensive care. Big Ed Huntley has a tag on his toe, and if I sang too loudly, those could be my options.
No way. Not unless I was out of commission. Now, come on, pal. I know you got the inside track on this guy, and I need some pieces right now.
Beverly, my sweet, see if you can find me a glass of Puy 1982. Excellent vintage.
Yeah, but how's the wine?
Your break.
So?
There's only one dude with the manpower and brass to take on the Huntley family.
Who's that?
The dishonorable Vincent Randolph.
Vincent Randolph? Whatever happened to Benny the Vulture?
Michael, the man is now a titan of industry, construction, salvage, and a whole lot of other interesting businesses.
Benny always was a smart operator. But why would he want to start a mob war with another family?
I've always believed in the wondrous power of greed. Vincent was once partners with Big Ed Huntley. They split, fought, negotiated, and agreed to share the whole pie.
And we all know that the biggest piece tastes the best. Nice shot. Lucky.
I'd call it very lucky, Mr. Hammer. My name's Acker. I have a message from Mr. Huntley.
What, from the Twilight Zone?
Mr. Huntley Jr. He wants to see you.
Well, tell Mr. Huntley Jr. that I'm right in the middle of a game.
He means now. That's it, Hammer.
Anyway, Mr. Hammer, this will be returned to you shortly. You're invited to a meeting with Big Ed's son. We're asking politely.
But why didn't you say so? Take messages.
Captain Pat Chambers. Emergency.
Little Eddie must be expecting World War III.
Actually, we're trying to avoid it.
She moved like a kitten after cream. If she was making funeral plans for Big Ed, somewhere that guy was smiling.
Move your eyes, Hammer. Inside.
Anyone that smells of a connection to Randolph, I want him covered. Now, I want people ready. You got it? You call. You let me know.
Eddie, this is Mike Hammer. Mike, this
Yes, little Eddie. You don't look much like your father.
Mr. Hammer, my father's dead.
That's what I mean. You're not wearing any bullet holes.
Eddie, please, let's keep this civilized.
I want to know what you saw when they killed my father.
You'll read about it in the morning paper in the Who's Doing What to Who column.
I know Randolph had him hit. I want the trigger man.
So do I.
So how do we find him?
Why don't you ask Randolph?
Maybe we lean on him a bit.
Eddie, no.
Who are you?
This is Mike Hammer.
Oh, yes, Mike Hammer. I'm Julia Huntley. Big Ed was my husband.
My condolences.
This isn't your business, Mother.
Oh, not my business. Your father is dead. And I understand Mr. Hammer killed one of his murderers. And you want to reward him by beating him up. Brilliant.
Eddie just wanted to ask a few questions, Mrs. Huntley.
Eddie wants to be his father. But he's not smart enough or tough enough. All you can do is get us into a war, and I won't have it.
He knows who killed Papa.
I don't know who killed Papa, Eddie, but I have my own reasons for wanting to find out. A very nice lady named Mama Z caught a bullet from the same gun that shot him.
Find the killer, Mr. Hammer, or there'll be a war in the streets.
I'll second that.
You don't make decisions for the family.
I do. You're free to leave, Mr. Hammer.
Thanks. If you don't mind, I'd like my piece back, just on the off chance that I might run into somebody unfriendly. Mr. Acker, keep smiling, Eddie.
Are you for hire?
No, not at the moment.
My money's too dirty?
I've already got a client.
Well, that's right, your friend who was wounded. I am sorry. When you find the murderer, will you kill him, Mr. Hammer?
At least.
Good.
Really?
I wasn't all that close with my husband, Mr. Hammer, but after 30 years of marriage, it's a debt. And I'd like to think it'll be paid.
30 years is a long time.
There's Carol,
Oh, you're a florist.
my daughter. On your way back to town, will you give Mr. Hammer a lift, Carol?
Of course, Mother.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thanks, you too.
So, are you one of my brother's imported guns?
No, I'm a civilian. I'm a private investigator in my camp.
Oh.
What disappoints you, the civilian or the private investigator?
Actually, around here, they're both pretty refreshing.
Mr. Barrington won't like it. You can't even be sure Hammer's in there.
He's there. What do you think I'm gonna do? Sit here and let my buddy get busted up? I don't know how the hell he does it.
This I want to see. Can you pull over a minute?
Out of the car. What'd we do? Speeding. 35 and a 25. Let me see your license. This is our own driveway. Okay, so you're not speeding. You're loitering.
Well, looks like Junior gave us a chaperone.
Maybe they were following me.
I don't know who those other two guys are.
Oh, they're friends of mine. New York's finest. Home, James.
Name's Carol.
Carol's a lot better. You don't really look like a James.
Theater here on A&E.
Carol Huntley was not your typical gangland American princess. I figured I might learn something from her, so I softened her up with an elegant lunch.
I didn't know you were a gourmet.
Well, don't let her get around. I'd have taken you to my favorite restaurant, but it's closed because of lead poisoning.
Mama Z's. I saw it on TV. I'm sorry about what happened to her. My father carried death like a communicable disease.
Well, I hope it doesn't run in the family.
I'm not a member of the family.
I was at the house this morning to be with my mother. That's as far as it goes. I walked out on my father when I was 16.
Can't say I blame you for that.
Oh, I had no choice. He was so happy about me leaving, he even gave me a going-away present. A broken arm.
Oh, sweet guy.
That was the last thing I ever got from him. So I put myself through college, earned my own way after that. And now I'm an associate architect with a good firm. I've made a life for myself.
But you never really forgave your dad.
No, but I'd never set him up for murder, if that's what you're getting at. Mike, believe me.
I'd like to.
idea. Mama Z's still unconscious, but she's stable. We've taken her out of intensive care and put her into a private room.
You've got company.
Well, what an unpleasant surprise.
Hello, Hammer.
Would you like a cup of coffee, something to eat? I think I got some stale donuts around here.
Oh, thank you. You were at Mama Zanetta's the day Big Ed Huntley was shot.
Right, I just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time.
For you, that's part of your daily routine. I also understand you were recently present at the Huntley Mansion.
You understand right.
There's only 2 ways to get into the Huntley Mansion. You either have to be born there or invited.
3. I was applying for a job.
One of these days, Hammer, I'm gonna break your gumball machine.
Ooh, I wouldn't recommend it. So tell me, what are you doing here?
Frankly, I'm very worried.
Yeah, about what?
Does the Huntley family think Vincent Randolph made the hit?
Ed Jr. does, but he's so busy trying to play the tough guy that he'll go after anybody.
Well, then we have to find the killer before there's a gang war in New York.
We do?
We do, and I need your cooperation, and I'm prepared to give something in return.
Really? What?
The contract to hit Big Ed Huntley came out of Chicago. The hitman's name is Schaefer. He always wears black leather gloves.
Any idea who hired him?
No, but we do know that this city is swarming with out-of-town gunsels. It's heating up, and if we don't nip it in the bud, we're gonna have a full-scale war between 2 mobster families.
Really? Well, listen, if we do, save me a front row seat.
Oh, come on, Hammer, you're not being realistic. Now, look, if you come up with anything, I want to be the first to know.
Second, the guy who shot Mama Z is gonna be the first to know. I was hoping that Mama Z knew I was there. She needed all the help she could get. But at the moment, I just felt helpless. How's she doing?
Oh, steady. It's too early to tell if she's improving, but her vital signs seem to be stable.
Do you want me to leave?
Oh, no. Stay, you're fine, just right where you are.
Rough night, huh?
I don't know. I didn't know I was even there.
Mr. Hammer, Mr. Randolph is ready for you now.
Mr. Randolph? I didn't even know I had an appointment.
Let me assist you.
By all means. Mr. Randolph.
Mr. Hammer, sit down, please. I thought we should have a chat.
Yeah, what's on your mind?
I'd like a statement.
About what?
About what you saw at the restaurant when Huntley was killed. And the proposition Ed Jr. made to you.
Anything you want to tell me, Mr. Hammer, just say it in your own words.
H-E-L-P.
You want me to take him outside? He'll come back a lot nicer.
Donovan. I didn't have Big Ed killed.
Oh, yeah? Can you prove that?
No. I want you to prove it. I want to hire you.
Thanks, anyway, but my dance card is already filled.
Because you're working for Ed Jr.?
No. I work for me. And a sweet lady named Mama Zanetta.
The owner of the restaurant.
Then you want what I want, the killer. And to prevent a war.
All right, Mr. Randolph, you said you wanted a statement. Here it is. It's a free country, and as far as I'm concerned, you guys could blow each other away. Wouldn't bother me one bit. In fact, it would clean up this city and save the taxpayers a lot of money. But just keep your bullets away from innocent people. Did you get that down?
Got it.
Donovan, give him his iron. I like you, Hammer. You are a rockhead. Good hunting.
Thanks.
Adlin, show Mr. Hammer out.
Well, it must be great working for such a reputable firm.
It's the fringe benefits. You ought to think over Mr. Randolph's offer. The pay is good, and like I said, there are fringe benefits.
Yeah, but I bet the life insurance premiums are a killer. Thanks.
Feeling better, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. That smells nice. What kind of perfume is that?
I don't know. I'm not wearing any.
Huh?
But when I am, I like exotic lust.
I'll make a note. I could remember when Benny the Vulture Randolph was nothing but a bookie on the Lower East Side. Now he had built up enough power to challenge the Huntley family, and they were on the brink of war. I still wasn't sure if he was the guy that killed Big Ed. I needed to talk to Carol Huntley again. She had me meet her at her latest project on the 23rd floor without a net.
You'll get used to it.
Oh, yeah? Huh. It's going to take a lot of convincing.
It's beautiful, isn't it? I love to look at the city from up here.
So they told me in your office. Personally, I'll like it a lot better when they get the walls in.
Heights scare most people. When I consider the quality of life down there, this seems like the safest place in the world.
Yeah? Well, I guess it grows on you.
Wait till you see it finished. I'm going to stand down there, look up, and say, I helped make that.
For Benny Randolph.
He owns Mid-Manhattan Construction, yes. I am working on his project, yes. But it's my design, and I'm proud of it.
Tell me something. Randolph hated your father, right?
That club had a lot of members.
Randolph, your mother, you. A few cops, few judges, a lot of victims.
And you suspect everybody.
That's right, I do.
Me?
Of course.
Don't you trust anything, Mike?
Yeah, I do. The Bible. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 19, verse 21. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth.
Oh, I am impressed. You didn't strike me as a man who could quote scripture.
Well, I spent a lot of time in hotel rooms. Carol could have killed Big Ed Huntley. So could a lot of people, including me if I'd had a good reason. I was thinking hard about the list of suspects as I drove to the office, completely forgetting how dangerous New York traffic can be. Fuses were lit. A major gang war was about to explode. And I was still no closer to finding out who shot Mama Z.
The gentleman who wore these gloves was a very wanted man in Chicago.
Yeah, well, he's not wanted anymore. What about the other guy?
Still a John Doe. Obviously, this guy was a pro.
All right, look, you got the guy who shot Mama Z, and I'm happy for you, but we still have a problem. We still have the threat of mob war hanging over our heads, and with this guy Schaefer dead, who do I go to? How do I find out who did the hiring?
Why don't you talk to Vincent Randolph?
Give me his number.
Check in the phone book under V for Vulture.
No proof on Randolph.
I'm gonna get some.
Well, whatever you do me a favor and make sure it's legal.
Look, Betsy is legal, and she just loves to vote.
Mike. Mike, I got a pipeline.
Yeah, who?
Acker.
Acker? He's the Huntley family advisor. You nuts?
Well, a good cop's like a crooked accountant. We keep 2 sets of books. Everything he's given me the last 5 years is checked out.
So you trust him?
No. I use him.
Well, just make sure he doesn't use you.
Don't worry, Mike, I will.
I couldn't sleep. My head was spinning around. I didn't know who I could trust. Why were they killing each other? And what did they want with me?
Who is it?
Julia Huntley.
Go in.
Please forgive the mess. I was going to do my spring cleaning, but I lost my calendar.
I heard on the news that you killed the men who shot my husband.
Yeah, I did, but whoever hired them is still out there.
Well, that's why I'm here. I'm aware of the speculation that it was Vincent Randolph. You must take my word for it, it wasn't. Mr. Hammer.
It's very nice perfume.
Oh?
I liked it yesterday in Randolph's office. I noticed it the first time we met.
I'm very flattered. Means I made a strong impression.
What were you doing there?
All right. I was trying to talk reason to him. Trying to get him to stop the madness.
I thought Junior was the new head of the family.
My son, weak. Weak men are always dangerous, Mr. Hammer. I'm counting on Acker to keep him in line while I try to make peace.
Peace with Vinny? Lots of luck.
He didn't have my husband killed.
What makes you so sure?
Look, you got the man who did the actual shooting. Let's leave it at that, please. Here's a little something for your trouble.
Thanks, Mrs. Huntley, but no thanks. I pay for my own ammo. That gives me the right to use it my way.
You're stubborn.
That's right. Randolph called me a rockhead.
It fits. It's a dangerous quality. I hope it doesn't get you killed.
Yeah, so do I. Okay, you can come out now.
How did you spot me?
Your skin reflects light even in the shadows. It's my business to be aware of those kind of things.
I saw her car parked outside. What was she doing here?
Offering me a bribe?
Did you take it?
No.
Good.
What are you doing here?
Offering you a bribe.
You too, huh?
At least hear my offer.
Good morning. Sleep well?
Hey, what is this, love 'em and leave 'em? What's
What's the rush, sailor?
I am a very busy guy. I've got places to go, people to see, lots of questions to ask. Speaking of questions, what was your mother's relationship with Vincent Randolph?
He was my father's partner. Now he's my brother's enemy.
Interesting.
Hey, it's not fair. It's too early.
I've just got to burn some coffee. You better get dressed.
Get dressed? You mean this is the end of our beautiful relationship?
Look, obviously your mother wants something from Randolph. Your brother wants it dead. I'm still not sure what you want. I better get the paper.
What are you doing?
I ought to kill you messing with scum like this.
Oh!
Get dressed!
Hey, pal, that's not the way.
You could die for this.
Hey, Eddie, it's boy-girl stuff. It's not worth it, huh?
Go put some clothes on. You're coming with me.
I'm not going anywhere with you, Junior.
You're gonna spend a couple days at the house, you know? Because if you don't, he's gonna sleep forever.
All right. Your brother's right. It's not going to be safe anywhere else, not for a while. Save yourself trouble.
Get in there and put some clothes on.
Tiger, go get the car ready. Ah. She'll be safe.
Not if Randolph finds her.
He won't. We're talking. There's no sane reason to have a war. You nailed Schaefer. That helps.
Somehow I don't think little Eddie is impressed.
I'll handle him.
Why did Carol and Ed Jr. get into a separate car? Something about that seemed wrong. Dead wrong. It was Donovan, Randolph's man, and he was D for dead. Carol. Don't talk. You're gonna be okay. I couldn't say the same about little Ed.
Here on A&E.
2 messages from Velda. Mama Z was doing better, and Julia Huntley needed to talk to me right away. After I paid a visit to Carol, I found Mrs. Huntley in the hospital chapel. Mrs. Huntley?
You may wonder why I don't cry. This has been my life as long as I remember.
I understand.
No, you don't. You can't. Violence was my husband's life. So it was mine. Now I've lost a son. Nearly a daughter.
I know you have a gun. I don't.
You really should, Benny. Donovan's your man. He shot Carol.
I didn't send Donovan.
Then who did?
I don't know. Maybe he thought he was doing what I wanted. But there's no way in the world I would send anyone to do something like that.
Come on. Why should I believe you?
Vincent would never do anything to hurt Carol. Never. He's her father.
You're Carol's father?
Carol doesn't know. We're hoping you'll promise to keep it that way.
When Ed was in prison, I needed someone. I went to Vincent. It's my fault. Carol was a pretty baby. Ed never suspected, never.
You never knew?
He would have had both of us killed if he found out.
Why are you telling me this?
Mr. Hammer, there's going to be a lot more bloodshed unless someone understands I'm not trying to do in the Huntley family.
Do you have any idea who is?
No.
I don't either. I wasn't ready to let anyone off the hook, especially Julia Huntley and Vincent Randolph. Someone once said, follow the money. So I left Mrs. Huntley at the hospital, followed Randolph back to his apartment, and waited.
I'm here to offer peace. You lost Donovan, we lost the boss and Junior. The girl's hurt. Acker wants to talk truce.
All right. We'll meet on the top floor of my new building, Midtown. No guns, and my people will hold you in the car as hostage.
Okay, when?
Immediately. No prearrangement, no new plans, right now.
Gotta make a phone call.
Make it.
Why was Randolph meeting one of the goons from the Huntley family? I knew it wasn't for a moonlight game of golf.
Up there?
Yeah.
Just like you wanted.
Harry, come on. You check the place out and come back down. I want to talk to Acker alone.
How long do you think we're gonna be here?
Why? You got a date? You say something?
You want to make peace? Fine. You speak for the family?
Yes. I'm glad we could finally meet this way, so we can settle the whole thing.
And just how do you plan on doing that, Acker? You made a deal with the soldiers from both families and promised all of them a bigger piece of the action. Then you got rid of Big Ed. Who knows what you're going to do with Big Benny? Pretty soon you'll control everything.
Very good, Mr. Hammer. Now, drop your gun, Mr. Hammer. You're right. I am taking over both families.
Not while I'm alive.
Goodbye, Mr. Hammond.
Goodbye.
Oh, Mike, I don't know how to thank you. And you for helping me rebuild. And don't forget Vincent Randolph. It is the first time we've ever gotten together over anything. I'm so grateful. You'll come back soon.
Well, you know I will.
Oh, Mike. Bye-bye.
Bye, Mom.
Need a ride?
Oh, no, thanks. I'm not going that far. I think I prefer to walk anyway.
Mike, Carol still doesn't know that Vincent's her father.
Do you want her to?
Never.
Well, she'll never hear it from me.
Hope I see you again.
Yeah, I hope so, too. Even though Acker had failed in his attempts to take over two mob families, it didn't mean they were going to go away. But for a little while, the city would be at peace. So would I if it weren't for my new hat.
Tonight, meet the boop-boop-a-doop girl herself, Betty Boop, on an all-new biography at 8 Eastern, 9 Pacific. And now, a near-death experience leaves Remington hospitalized with amnesia. Next on A&E.